Hi guys! Welcome to our channel. This is OTmomJeza and this is Logan. Strong! And we are here in his playpen. Oh! What will we talk about, Logan? For today's video, we will be talking about Logan's cleft lip repair journey, the story behind Logan's 2 smiles, or the transformation of his cleft lip to his forever smile. The preparations we did, his pre-admission and during his hospital admission, how many days we spent in the hospital, how many hours his surgery went, and lastly, you will know why his cleft lip repair was my greatest heartbreak. So stay tuned and enjoy the rest of the video. Before we start, let's have a brief history of what Logan has that warrants this cleft lip repair. Logan has right unilateral cleft lip that needed surgery. But before we go to lip surgery, there must be 4 requirements that be met to any cleft affected child. First, the baby must be at least 3 months old. Second, the baby must be at least 5 kilograms. Third, the NAM or the nasoalveolar mold treatment must be completed, or the obturator plate that must be placed on his palate to prepare the oral structure for his lip and palate repair. And last requirement is that there must be a pediatric clearance. I wanted my child to be treated as early as 3 months old. So I was that very impatient mother that wants to have his cleft lip repair done as soon as possible, because I believe that early treatment is the best treatment. But then Logan's pediatrician and plastic surgeon discouraged me to have the cleft lip repair very early because the oral structures were not yet fully developed. And yes, they called each other and really discouraged me and convinced me not to do it as soon as possible. Logan has met most of the requirements already, but then we pushed through at 7 months old. However, at 7 months old, when we prepared for his pediatric clearance, the pediatrician told us to take all the laboratory requirements done. So Logan had you're pooping. So the laboratory tests that should be done are CBC or complete blood count, blood typing, pro-time or prothrombin time, APTT, urinalysis, X-ray, and last is the COVID RT-PCR test. So all of those requirements were done just to have a pediatric clearance for our pediatrician to permit us to undergo the cleft lip repair. However, the day before the scheduled lip surgery that was already reserved at the hospital in Cebu doctors, his laboratory results, specifically the CBC, has low hematocrit and low hemoglobin. So we were really sad and alarmed. The doctor, she cannot give us the clearance yet because we need to work up for his blood. This low hemoglobin and hematocrit count were basically caused by some nutritional, primarily because of his diet, and also I think with me because I am kind of anemic. It's from most of his nutrition came from me because of the breast milk. That's why I supplemented also with iron, and Logan was prescribed with the iron supplement for 2 months, thrice a day. So he took and then his poop smells so bad, like super even his fart. And he was 7 months old back then when we first attempted to have his cleft lip repair. Then the doctor required us to have 2 months work up. So this impatient mom is again very frustrated and really discouraged with the delay in his cleft lip repair. But then we had to follow the doctor. As always, doctors know best. Then all those all those laboratory tests done, and thank God, the Florianne treatment worked really well, and even his pediatrician were really relieved by the updated CBC this time for our second attempt. So Logan was already 9 months old for our second attempt. A peak of COVID Delta spiked here in Cebu. So again, our cleft lip surgery was we were all kind of frustrated again because of this delay. So it's our second attempt already. But despite being postponed, at least we're happy. 2 weeks after our second attempt that it is already possible for us to do the cleft lip repair because the cases have died down. I really persuaded the doctor na, "Doc, I will really make sure that he will be all throughout the process." So all the safety measures were, of course, luckily my sister-in-law is a med tech, and 2 of my brothers-in-law are doctors. All his laboratory tests at home. My sister-in-law, who is a med tech, took all his blood tests, and even with all their assistance. Thank you, sister-in-law, for avoid any contact with positive cases of COVID. All his laboratory tests were so painful because it's so hard to get blood tests done to a baby as tiny as this one because their veins are not really clear. So every time he's really stressed and even traumatized by the procedure. It's not done just once, twice, but then we tried more than 10 times just to get some blood. It was such a struggle, really. So luckily, all his laboratory tests again came normal, and yes, finally we got the pediatric clearance from our pediatrician. Yay! And I am so happy. The mommy is so happy. Bruh. Because finally we will have his cleft lip repair. We had our checkup in Chongwa, Mandaue, because that's where the clinic of our pediatrician is, and she told us after that checkup that we should go to Cebu Doctors Hospital, which is the hospital where we intend to have his cleft lip repair, to go immediately after the checkup. Then I haven't packed a thing. I just prepared it, but then I did not put it in the luggage yet because I was thinking after getting the pediatric clearance, we will get admitted on the next day, but I was wrong. Logan should be prepped or prepared for his lip surgery. So if his lip surgery is scheduled tomorrow, he should be admitted the day before. We really hurried going home so that we can prepare everything for his admission. Unfortunately, we are on the 4th waiting for admission because all the non-COVID rooms were full already and we needed to wait. Good thing that my sister-in-law's apartment is just near the hospital, so we stayed there overnight and a day. It was really okay to wait because we have waited for this for a while already. And then we were admitted. Finally, we were admitted at September 1. So the surgery was moved to the next day, which is September 2. The night before his scheduled lip repair or lip surgery, we were interviewed by a lot of doctors, like the plastic surgery department, the pediatric department, and the anesthesiology department. So all the resident doctors came in and out of our room, did interviews, put a line on his little hand, and it was again a struggle to get his vein inserted with an IV line. I thought I have prepared myself emotionally with my child's cleft lip repair by reading stories from the support groups, informing myself, reading a lot of articles, but then I was all wrong. It all vanished when the anesthesiologist oriented me on what will happen to Logan tomorrow on his lip surgery. So the anesthesiologist told me that Logan will be induced to unconscious level. His breathing will be dependent on a machine, and that made me crazy. That made me really paranoid, and my anxiety just went super high that I was not able to sleep the night before his surgery, thinking that what will happen if the tube will like that. So many thoughts coming in my head already. Because I did not get any sleep, I was able to feed Logan before his 8-hour fasting before his surgery. So his surgery was scheduled at 9 a.m. the next day. So he is not allowed to take any liquids or solids or any type of food or liquids to take in before 2 a.m. in that time. So I fed him at around 1:30 just to have at least You're pooping! You're a poopy! What you doing? You're pooping? Smelly! So, going back, I made sure he would at least finish a bottle because I was really anticipating that the morning would be such a struggle, but then turned out he was good. He was distracted by cuddles instead of having food, so it was just it was not really stressful, not until the nurse told me to prepare him already for his surgery. So they already gave me a hospital gown for this little guy here. So they have this cute hospital gown for little kids or for babies that was really cute. They called over the telephone. Some staff will get us through rolling bed, something, towards the operating room. And then the staff came in and we were already going to the operating room. So my greatest heartbreak was when the anesthesiologist already got my baby from me. So it was really painful. So I was basically giving the right to the anesthesiologist to do anything with my baby. I cannot see him all throughout the process, so that really made me it is really painful, especially when the anesthesiologist is heading towards the operating room. And my baby was not really crying. He was just there at the doctor like a stranger and not cry at all. But then this mommy is the one crying. And the nurse just told me to wait inside our room and wait for his call. Then when I walked out the room, I was already crying, of course, because it really is scary for me, knowing that my child will be left unconscious and then he will be dependent on a machine. Is really scary, like super. I had palpitations. I was not able to eat at all. My last meal was the night before. Even while waiting for his surgery to finish, I was not able to consume anything or any food because of my anxiety. I was really scared. So his surgery went on for oh my, you're poopy! Ew! Ew! Ah! Ew! Pause first. Going back, The surgery went on for 2.5 hours, and the nurse already called me on the hospital telephone to go to the recovery room and prepare for my baby. So I hurried to the recovery room, very excited and still anxious at the same time. And after around 15 minutes, my baby came in already. I heard a baby crying, and I know exactly that it's already Logan. And I was so happy to see him, but at the same time, I was shocked that he looks so different already. It's as if I'm carrying a new baby already. But the results were really good, and we were so happy. Then we started video calling everyone in the family to let them see the new Logan and his new smile. I mean, his forever smile. And doctor told us to stay in the recovery room for 2 hours just to monitor everything, if his breathing will go back to normal and there are no other complications that may happen from the general anesthesia. He just woke up when we were already transported back to our room. Daddy and the yaya is already waiting for us, and they were also very excited to see his new smile. And we're just so happy that it's finally over. Few hours after we went out of the recovery room, he was still very weak, but then like within that night, he was already back to his old self. Like, it was amazing because he was really sedated, and I think he was in pain, but then he was really getting all the smiles already, and he was really like energetic, though very weak because of his IV line. He cannot move around so much, but then he was already clapping his hands, he was already smiling, he was already making sounds a lot. So that really makes us happy. And the first night though was really a struggle. This baby is usually asleep on my chest with his head facing me, and he usually smooshes his face on my chest, so I have to be on guard all night long. He was just trying to sleep and crying. Logan was also syringe or dropper fed. That makes it very difficult because he keeps on crying every time we refill the dropper or the syringe, so it's kind of frustrating. But gladly, we made it through the night. Mama. I'm your mama. Am I your mama? Am I your mama? The next day, we were told to be discharged. I was shocked because, of course, he just had his surgery, and then the next day we were ordered to get discharged, which is, yay, less hospital expenses. We got discharged on September 3 at around noontime. Then, yeah, we went home. And he's really back to himself the next day, like completely back to his old self. We were prescribed with certain medications and antibiotics that should be taken twice a day, and we need to perform or clean his wound, especially if there is accumulation of dirt or blood already on the suture area. And I think that's it for his lip repair. Thank you for watching. Just remember, mommies, you do you. Bye. Bye, baby. Bye. My baby is strong. Bye.